Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Just recollect where we are. We are in chapter 4 of Ramakatha Rasavahini. Last week we read about Sumitra and her children. Lakshmana and Shatrugna were always crying, especially Lakshmana, and Sumitra could not figure out what to do with him. No medications worked. She invited Sage Vasishta and he came and he told her to take Lakshmana and leave him next to Rama. And from that point onwards, Lakshmana's demeanor changed and he was playing. I think that's what we discussed. We also discussed the applicability of that lesson for all of us. Realize that a good friend will take us to the right place, right guru, and that guru will show us the way to the Lord. And when we go near the Lord, all problems are resolved. And that was the takeaway from last week's discussions. We will continue from where we left off. I will advance the slide and then someone can read. I don't know whether Gopal uncle is not able to read, I guess, from. We'll just read this slide. Anyone can volunteer? Ron, if possible.
Sai Ram, sure.
Sure.
Vasishta thought within himself for a while. Then he said, "O Queen, his pain is unique, and you are trying to cure it by familiar means and drugs. His yearning is beyond the ken of mortals to understand. Do as I tell you, and the child will be quiet and happy. The moment you do so, the child will cease wailing and begin playing about with gusto. Take him now and lay him beside Rama, the child of Kausalya. This is the panacea." After this, Vasishta left, leaving his blessings on mother and child. Hearing his words, Sumitra took her child to where the other child was, in its cradle. She laid him by the side of Rama. From that very moment, the wailing stopped. Laughter and play began. Those who saw this transformation took it as a great wonder. Lakshmana, who was until then suffering, began to prattle aloud in joy, kicking his feet about, waving his hands in glee, as fish do when they are thrown back into water, gliding gleefully along in quick darts. He was in the presence of Rama, immersed in bliss and aware of the grace Rama showered.
Thank you very much, Ron. If anyone would like to discuss any of the points in the slide, we can discuss, else we will move on. Okay, I think we'll move on. Yes, Ron.
The story of Shatrughna was also on similar lines. He was melancholic, averse to food and play. He appeared very weak and tired. Sumitra was worried at this development, so she invited the preceptor to the palace and inquired from him the reason. Vasishtha smiled again. He said, "Mother, your children are not of the common stamp. They are born to enact a divine drama. Place Shatrughna on the same bed as Bharata. Then his daily routine will be joyful. He will be extremely happy. You need not worry any more." Vasishtha blessed her and left. Sumitra followed his instructions immediately. Since then, Shatrughna spent time in the company of Bharata. The children were in unbounded bliss together. Their progress was beyond measure. Like the splendor of the sun, they grew in intelligence and glory from hour to hour.
Thank you very much, Ram. Auntie, shall we read the Telugu?
Sai Ram, Sai Ram. ఇది ఇట్లుండ శత్రుఘ్నుడు ఆనాటి నుండి పాలు త్రాగలేదు.
And this was so, Shatrughna from that day did not drink milk.
విచారముగా ఆడుట కాని కదలుట కాని లేక చాలా బలహీనుని వలె కనిపించుచుండ
He was not playing, nor he was not moving much, and he seemed as if he was very weak, as when it was seen thus.
సుమిత్ర అదిరిపడి గురువులు వారిని రంపించి కారణము తెలుపగోరెను.
Sumitra invited the Guru again and asked him the cause for that.
వశిష్ఠుల వారు చిరునవ్వులతో, అమ్మా, మీ పిల్లలు సామాన్యులు కారు.
Vasishtha with a smile said, "Mother, your children are not ordinary.
వారి జన్మలకు ఇవి లీలా నాటకములు.
For their birth, this is a divine play.
శత్రుఘ్ని భరతుని పడకపై పరుండబెట్టుము.
Take Shatrughna and place him in the bed with Bharata.
అతని నిత్య కర్మలు సక్రమగా జరుగును.
His daily activities will take place in an ordinary manner.
సంతోషముగా నుండును.
He will be happy.
దీనికి విచారించనక్కర్లేదు అని ఆశీర్వదించి వెళ్ళెను.
There is no need for you to worry about this. And he's saying thus, he blessed her and left.
సుమిత్ర అటులనే చేసెను.
Sumitra does as she instructed.
ఆనాటి నుండి లక్ష్మణుడు రాముని చెంత, శత్రుఘ్నుడు భరతుని చెంత పెరుగొచ్చిరి.
From that day, Lakshmana with Rama and Shatrughna with Bharata were growing up.
వారి ఆనందమునకు అద్దులేదు.
There was no limit for their joy.
అభివృద్ధికి కొరత లేదు.
There was no deficiency in their growth.
దినదినమునకు సూర్యకాంతి వలె ప్రకాశించుచు పెరుగదొడిగిరి.
Day by day, like the effulgence of the sun, they were shining and they were growing up. Thank you very much. Sai Ram. Sai Ram, everyone. So the story of Shatrughna also was similar. Anyone who would like to discuss anything would be welcome to discuss. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sai Ram, brother. So they were born, the twins were born to enact divine drama. So, does that mean they are not divine? I mean, we also we are born as a result of our janma is karma janma. And then does that mean Leela janma, like, divine figures are born to enact a divine drama? Does that mean same thing?
Yes. My understanding is also the same, sister, but
Okay.
you can ask whether anyone has something to say. So I think, even though, not even though it is said that their life and their birth is a Leela, divine play, Leela Janma, because it is a divine play also, a drama. So which actually means that they are showing us how we should live also. It's the play has a certain message for us. It is not for just entertainment. I think every move of theirs, every part of their life is actually a lesson for all of us to learn from. So what can we learn from this? Lakshmana, we understood, we discussed. Shatrughna. So the funny thing I noted was, maybe I will, if anyone would like to speak, please put your hand up. See, Shatrughna seemed to have started crying the day Lakshmana went to lie down with Rama. Until then, he seems to have been okay. Okay. But after Lakshmana left, Shatrughna started being upset. So that also means Shatrughna was happy with Lakshmana, even though Lakshmana was not happy. So it seemed very, interesting. Uh, and so Shatrughna also means one who does not have any enemy. There's nothing against him, nothing oppressing him. But still he was upset. He felt weak. He was not moving. Um, and so Sumitra was, and he was not even drinking milk, as Swami said. Um, so even I think a person who may not have any enemies or anything in this world, such person also, in the absence of a good company like Lakshmana, is also troubled. Uh, and for the solution for that was Bharata. I don't know why Vasishtha didn't ask him to go, take him to Rama, but I think there was other reasons which I think Swami will go on to. But Bharata was also equally and a good influence on Shatrughna, and he also, that company also helped Shatrughna is what I would say. Yes, yes, Anna, Shankarana, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think the pairing of children is quite amazing, because Lakshmana is supposed to be Adisesha, and he was paired with Rama, who is the Vishnu avatar. And Bharata and Shatrughna are the Amsha of Vishnu, like Shankh Chakra. So I think they are paired together to grow together as children. That's what I am thinking.
Okay, thank you very much, Anna. Thanks. Anyone else would like to share anything? I think one thing which Swami had spoken about is that Lakshmana was born from the portion given by Kaushalya, and Shatrughna was born from the portion of payasam given by Kaikeyi. So they were, to some extent, they were half of the other. Uh, yes, Ron, please go ahead. Bina.
Sai Ram, I just noticed here very nicely that Sumitra, meaning the friend of everyone, as Shatrughna, has a no enemy. The absolute attribute comes from the mother. Sai Ram.
What did you say? Shatrughna? Annoyed?
Shatrughna, who doesn't have any enemy,
Enemy, yes, exactly.
right?
Thank
And
you.
Sumitra has all
Good
friends.
friend. Yes.
So just notice that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, hi Satish, please go ahead. Wait, unmute and speak, Sai Satish. Yes, Sai Satish seems to have some problem.
Sai Ramana.
Yes, please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that their journey from Salukyam to Samipyam started at that level itself. Of course, subsequently the Sarupyam and Sayujyam came, but it shows how at that early age itself, the journey, like what you were mentioning, for people to learn from, to yearn for that proximity to the Lord, it shows how it started off at that age itself. So just wanted to add that, Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Another point which struck me was Sumitra, because she lost what was directly given to her, she did not have a son, one son who was independent, I would say. But because she took some help from others, she ate what Kaikeyi or Kausalya were given. The children naturally got gravitated to whoever gave something. So I think in life, what we eat also matters, from whom we take and eat also matters. Because naturally the association becomes with them. I'm reminded also of the story of Bhishma. When Bhishma was on the bed of arrows, when the Pandavas went to talk to him and he started discoursing on Dharma, Draupadi is supposed to have laughed. And when Bhishma inquired why she laughed, and she said he could not speak about Dharma all this time when he was with Kauravas. And now he is able to. So she was puzzled by that and found that a bit funny also, amusing. For which Bhishma said, because I ate the food which Kauravas gave, my thinking was a bit affected by that. My buddhi itself was affected. Now that the blood which was derived from their food is gone out, now my real understanding and knowledge has come, and that's the reason. So I think where we get, what food we get, from who we eat, has certain impacts. In the case of Sumitra, of course, she took it from a part of some divine payasam. The children, though they were affiliated to Rama or Bharata, they were still in divine company. So I think that's also something which we can take away from this. Always it's better to get directly from the Lord, so that it will be the much more blemishless and no other influences. I thought that was something very nice. If no one has anything to discuss, we will move on. Sai Ram.
Sumitra had nothing to do now for her children, but since she loved her twins as her dear life, she spent some of her time with Kausalya and some with Kaikeyi, fondling the children and attending to their needs. She moved from one palace to the other and relished her chore as a maid caring for the comforts of children. I am not destined to mother them, she sometimes pined in solitude. Often she wondered how this strange situation arose of her children being happy with those mothers and not with her. At last she went to the preceptor and prayed to him to allay her anxiety. He laid bare the real reason. Mother Lakshmana is a part of Rama. Shatrughna is a part of Bharata. Even as these words fell from his lips, Sumitra exclaimed, Yes, yes, I realize it now. I'm glad I know from you the truth. And she fell at the feet of Vasishta and left for the inner apartments. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Ron. Sorry, unfortunately, I had tried to say this earlier, which I should not have made.
Doesn't matter.
We can read Telugu, Sai Ram.
Okay. సుమిత్ర చేయునది లేక పిల్లల ఆనంద అభివృద్ధులే తన ప్రాణ సమానముగా భావించుట చేత
Sumitra, without having anything to do, treating the children as their joy and their growth as her own life, and
కౌసల్య
treating it like that.
కౌసల్య దగ్గర కొంతసేపు, కైక దగ్గర కొంతసేపు అటు ఇటు తిరుగుచు వారులకు తగిన సేవలు చేయుచు.
So she spent some time with Kaushalya, some time with Kaikeyi, and going back and forth, doing this, serving them in various ways.
పిల్లలకు దాసి వలె పని చేయుటయే కాని తల్లి వలె మెలుగుటకు అవకాశం పోయేడిది.
She was only able to serve like a maid, and she did not have an opportunity to serve them like a mother.
ఇది నా గ్రహచారము అని ఒకనాడు ఇటులగుటకు కారణమేమో అని ఏకాంతముగా గురువుల చెంతకు పోయి
she thought that was due to the planetary movements for her or something like that. I think Grahacharam, auntie?
గ్రహచారం విధి తల
Grahacharam, yes. So it's a work of the planets, so the fate, destiny also. And she said, one day,
ఒకనాడు ఇటులగట్టుకు కారణమేమియో అని ఏకాంతముగా గురువుల చెంతకు పోయి ప్రార్థించగా
she went to the Guru alone in solitude and asked him what was the reason for this.
గురువు ఉన్నదున్నట్ల విన్నవించెను.
Guru told her what was the real thing.
అమ్మ, లక్ష్మణుడు రామ అంశమందలివాడు.
Amma, mother, Lakshmana is a part of Rama.
శత్రుఘ్నుడు భరతుని అంశమందలివాడు.
Shatrughna is a part of Bharata.
అని మాత్రము చెప్పుచుండగానే సుమిత్ర, ఓ అవునవును, నాకీనాడు బోధపడినది.
As he said only that much, and right away Sumitra said, yes, today I understand what it was.
ధన్యురాలును అని నమస్కరించి వెళ్ళిపోయాను.
I am blessed. Saying thus, she bowed down to the Guru and left.
ఆనాడు పాయసము గ్రద్ద తన్నుకొని పోగా,
I think, auntie, maybe in English, maybe it is.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, I think.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you. Sai Ram, everyone, if anyone would like to discuss any of the points here. Yes, Sanjay.
Sai Ram, Swami uses the word dhan, like blessed I am in the last line, auntie.
Yes.
ధన్యురాలును, I am blessed అని నమస్కరించి వెళ్ళిపోయాను.
I know
that is not in the English translation, Sanjay.
Yes. Is the meaning there? I'm blessed to know the truth, or am I blessed that this happened? What does it imply?
I think Swami does not say. I think she's blessed to even know that. I think is the way I would put it.
To know the reality.
Because I think she was puzzled and she didn't know why these things are happening. And I think that would have relieved her. Because I think the news was pretty good for her, because she thought, a son would be of no use, he may not have a role. But now she understands that, they have some company and they will be, because their part means they are also equal to them in some manner. They are with them all the time. So, they will have something to do. And I think that would have also made her feel that her confusion or worry was appropriately answered by God himself. So I think she feels blessed. That might be the best position for her, I think. She may have felt. I don't know. That's my understanding. I believe.
Mm.
Anyone else would like to share anything? I guess maybe we'll continue to read. Sorry, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
I was just musing that, it would have been very hard for a mother to let her children grow up with another mother. Just reflecting. And sacrifice them or their time and being closer to them.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why she went and asked for the reason. Because
I think when once she comes to know that Bharata and Lakshmana and Shatrughna were part of the Lakshmana was part of Rama, Amsha, and then Shatrughna was an Amsha of
Bharata.
So she was greatly relieved when she came to know about the real truth. Why they were crying, why they were away from their brothers. When she comes to know that, and she I think she got really she felt that is okay. Now they are with their partners. Sai Ram.
Yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, yeah, thank you. I think both those, Auntie, what you said, and I don't know what you said, also both makes um, a lot of sense. I was just amazed at, because Swami had mentioned, from her to kind of um, understand the beauty of her nature, when in the previous uh, session when we had read, Swami had used the word ashraddha, when she immediately concludes in the momentary lapse in her faith, which made her lose that her share of the
Bye.
Paisam, because she was thinking that she may not, what will happen to her son? Her son will neither be the first one or the last one whom Bharat had been promised, or Rama, the first one. When she had those kind of doubts, that momentary lapse in realizing that God is in control of everything made her lose it. And then because of the compassion, or the good nature of Kausalya and Kaikeyi, they shared the paisam with her. It was almost like this might have been one of the first cases of a surrogate mother. So the child was not meant to be hers, and then went back to their other parts. And how quickly she was able to accept. One is, the as Auntie said, the truth. And also, secondly, to know that while she had the doubt that her children may not be neither first or last, now by Sage Vashishtha saying this, she is guaranteed that they are going to be part of the other two. So I guess that might have also been felt as a relief. But what comes through is her ability to immediately accept the answer is really nice.
Yes, Sanjay, I think she also sets a great example here. As Sister Vani said, a mother would find it very, very challenging to not be with her children and not to bring them up like a mother. Such a loss for her at that stage of her life. Still, she considers herself blessed than Nuralanu. So you can imagine the maturity of as a person who was able to face such news with certain sense of stoicism, unaffected by it. That still shows such a great woman. She was spiritually also so elevated, I would say, and Swami has spoken very highly of her later on in many of the discourses. If everyone is okay, maybe we will move on. Ron.
She said to herself, when the eagle carried away in its beak the precious gift of payasam, or divine food, given by the divine messenger, I was so frightened at the prospect of the king becoming angry at my negligence that I informed Kausalya and Kaikeyi about the calamity. She poured out for me a share from her cup, and the other sister poured out another share from her own cup. So I alone of the queens had twins, as a result of the twin shares I consumed. Oh, the will of God is mysterious. It is beyond anyone to know his might and majesty. Who can alter his decree? Yes, she consoled herself, I bore them for 9 months. I went through the pangs of delivery. But their real mothers are Kausalya and Kaikeyi. There is no doubt. She was confirmed in this belief, and she gladly entrusted her children to Kausalya and Kaikeyi and joined them in fondling and fostering them. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Sai Ram.
ఆనాడు పాయసము గ్రద్ద తన్నుకొని పోగా రాజు ఓకే
That day, when the eagle took away the payasam, or the
రాజు కోపించునేమో అని కౌశల్యకును కైకకును తెలుప,
thinking that the king may be angry, telling Kaushalya and Kaikeyi about it,
వారు సరళ సహన హృదయులై ఆమె పాయసమందు కొంత భాగము ఈమె పాయసమందు కొంత భాగము నాకు అందించిరి.
they were kind-hearted, and with lots of forbearance, in their heart, each one shared one portion from their cups.
అవియే వారి వారి అంశములు.
They have become their own parts. Those were their parts.
కాకున్నా నాకు మాత్రమే ఇరువురు పుత్రులు కలుగుటకు కారణమేమి?
Therefore, what's the reason for me to have 2 children, twins?
ఇరువురి అంశములను భుజించినే కనుక ఈ బాలురు ఇట్టి సంబంధమును పొందియుందురు.
Because I took the parts from each of these co-sisters, my children have such relationship.
Yeah. I think that's stopped, is it?
No, some more.
దైవ సంకల్పము ఎంతటి సూక్ష్మము.
The will of the God is so subtle.
అతని శక్తిని కనుగొన ఎవరికి తరము?
Who is capable of understanding his power?
దానిని మార్చువారెవరు?
Who can change it?
అని తనలో తాను ఆనందించుచు ఆనాటి నుండి
thinking thus, she was joyful, and from that day,
నవమాసములు మోసి కన్నది తాను కాని కౌసల్య కైకేయులే నా బిడ్డల నిజమైన తల్లులు.
even though I have carried them for 9 months, Kausalya and Kaikeyi are the real mothers.
అని దృఢము చేసుకొని,
Thus, consoling herself,
బిడ్డలను వార్లకే అప్పచెప్పి,
she gave them her children.
తాను ఆయావలె వార్ల చెంత పిల్లల పనులు చేయుచుండెను.
She became a maid for them and did the work for the children.
Yeah.
Thank you, Auntie.
That's it.
Anyone would like to care to discuss any? Yes, Ron or Beena.
Sai Ram, just want to mention that such a character, such a beauty in Sumitra's character. Absolutely stunning. And where she thinks that I bore them 9 months and I went through the pangs of delivery, but their real mothers are Kausalya and Kaikai. There is no doubt that acceptance. I think that all the avatars or Sant Mahatma who comes to us on earth and takes birth, their all mothers are so great. If you see Shivaji Maharaj to Jijabai to Shivaji Maharaj came. Our Bhagawan Sathya Sai Baba, Ishwaramba, and so many. So the great character of the mother there, the divine personality takes the avatara from there. So this is one of the thing I find it like a extremely beautiful character. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Veena. Yes, Sister Brintha. I think Sister Brintha had raised her hand, but
Oh, sorry, Sai Ram. Like the sister said, yes, such a beautiful character, Sumitra's is. But I feel, she may feel that the kids are not with her and with the other two brothers. But I think she's blessed, and God has given her the chance to be a mother and experience all the motherhood one can experience. So I think in that way she is blessed for her all the noble qualities. I guess. Yeah. Sai Ram.
thank you very much, Sister. Thank you. It also shows a person's contentment with what they were blessed with also. I think she was happy with just that experience, as Sister Brinda said, that, she knew what motherhood is like, how it is to bear a child and give birth. And she was still around to help them, but I think to a great extent she also demonstrates how parents should be with children also, with a sense of detachment, thinking that they don't belong to her. So in that way, one will be able to even spiritually progress in one's life. They are each child who we bring forth have their own destiny and their own path as willed by God. And I think she was able to accept it, to a great extent. She didn't realize that, Rama was avatar or anything like that. But they knew that they were born because of divine blessings. But she had that great contentment and sense of sacrifice and renunciation. Great example for everyone to deal with challenges in life.
And she says, Daiva Sankalpam Yantati Sukshmam. I'm reminded of that song, Teliyaga Tarama, Narulu Kanukona Tarama, Paramani Tapo Nidulakaina, Brahmakunaina. You can't.
No one can figure out.
No one can figure out what Bhagavan's will is.
Yes, Sister Vani.
So thinking about Swami's will, things do happen to us too. Incidents do happen earlier, and then later on, after so much time, we realize that this happened because of this reason, and I'm not sure whether we would be at the same stage as Sumitra, where she was practicing that detachment from the get-go, and be ready for when Lakshmana goes with Rama to the forest. And so at that time she probably wouldn't have had that anxiety. But whereas we, whether it's children or any other issue in our life, that later on we realize, oh, this must have happened for this reason, and it is all for our good, for our well-being, or for our, actually Swami or God is actually really blessing us. It's a blessing in disguise, but we don't realize ahead of time. Only after so much time, then, oh, maybe this is because of why we didn't get this, or why we didn't experience this. So it's an interesting thing to know that how Sumitra was always very mature in thinking.
Yes, sister, thank you. I think even Sumitra I think her pain only lasted for a few days until she asked Sage Vasishta. I think until then she was a bit puzzled, or she was uh, worried a bit, I guess. Yes, Ronabina.
Sai Ram, on a light note, Vasishtha Guru is always on call. So she was blessed enough to get immediate remedy from Guru. That is also a blessing. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram. I think for all of us also, Swami is on speed dial as long as we have him. It's just Sister Shubha.
Sai Ram Anna. I just had a question. So, like, all the four brothers were divine in nature. Why did Lakshmana show? Why was Lakshmana the only one who was that disturbed, or like that? Like, why was he the only one? Like, coming from Kausalya, did Rama also have the same feeling? Was he also unhappy when because before Lakshmana came? That is one part of the question. And even among the four, why was Lakshmana the only one? Is there a reason for that?
You are you mean asking for Rama, Shubha?
Yeah, just before. So when he was not happy till he got in the same cradle with Rama, um, like and Shatrughna was also, he was content till someone was there. Like as long as Lakshmana was there, he was happy. Or then once Bharata came, he was happy. But why was it? Is it significant, or just wondering?
Good question, sister. Good question, sister. I think Sister Shubha's question is, when initially among all the four, only Lakshmana was troubled. So if Lakshmana was part of Rama, why was Rama not troubled? Because Lakshmana is also divine in some way. And only when Lakshmana left, Shatrughna got upset. So I think that's Sister Shubha's question. Anyone who would like to answer that?
Lakshmana was supposed to be the avatar of Adishesha. Vishnu has been always reclining on that Adishesha. Always he has been with him. So suddenly Rama finds that his companion is missing. So I think Lakshmana also feels that he should be with Rama. So in the previous avatars of many avatars, Lakshmana has been always following Rama. I think that's my understanding.
Yes, Sister Brinda.
I think, brother, instead of separating the kids, they could have stayed in one palace. Problem solved, right?
I think that would have made simpler. We didn't know whether there were some differences. Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Yeah, Ramana. So I think what Lakshmana represents is every child, right? Like I think it is said that every child is born with that cry of Koham, who am I? And it should end with the note of Soham, I am that. So that way, symbolically representing, Lakshmana does represent every Jivatma pining for the Paramatma. That is at the spiritual realm. But if we take the example of Lakshmana or Shatrughna, it shows that something is always needed to stay happy. In the case of Lakshmana, he needed Rama to stay happy. In the case of Shatrughna, he needed either Lakshmana or Bharata to stay happy, which clearly shows that when we look for an external source of joy, it is always you're in search of that happiness. And Swami again tells about this musk deer or Kasturi Mrigam, which keeps going around the whole forest in search of that fragrance. And ultimately, at the end of the day, when it is tired searching for that fragrance and it comes back and rests under a tree, it puts its nostrils near its belly and then it realizes that the smell of the musk is coming from there. So, likewise, in the case of Rama, I would see that since he's sweetness himself, he doesn't need that external source of joy. So, for him, he is absolute in his happiness. But for Lakshmana or Shatrughna, maybe here in the context we haven't discussed Bharata, but looking at these two children, it's again the want of something external which keeps them going on the internal. But it clearly shows that for those who are in that state, they know that the external is but a reflection of the internal, so they are always satiated and complete. So just wanted to add that. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Sudesh. Anyone has any thoughts? Yes, Shankarana.
Yeah. Shatrughna was quiet until Lakshmana was with him, because Lakshmana is Amsha of Rama. So he was happy that Amsha of Rama is with me, so I'm happy. But then when Lakshmana was moved to Rama, then he lost the Amsha of Rama, so he started crying. I think that is one of the reason why he got perturbed after Lakshmana left the palace.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much. Anyone else has something to say? So maybe I will, it was a nice question. I think the quantity also matters than the quality, as Swami says. See, from Rama had a larger portion of payasam from which Rama was born. Kaushalya would have only given a small portion of hers. I think so did Kaikeyi. So, because of the quantityness being low, Lakshmana always needed to feel full. It's like Rama is the full one, and a part was taken. Even though a part was taken, he was still full. Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnas. So even if you take some from a Purnam, the Lord is always, even we are an amsham of God. We are all sparks of the same Lord. But because our quantity of the spark is less, we need the full. We need to go back to the ocean, like the river going back to the ocean. So Lakshmana also represents each of us. We are also born with a little divine amsa, and until we reach back to the Lord, we will be not happy in this world. I think that's the way I see, because the quantity of divinity also matters. The quality alone is not everything. The second thing is, as Shankaran has nicely said, even though Shatrughna was missing Bharata, the presence of Lakshmana kept him happy, reasonably happy, I guess. So when Lakshmana was removed, then the missing Bharata hit him. But because he was an Amsha of Bharata, who was also divine in his own way, he was made to reach Bharata. That's what Vashishta Maharshi saw. And I think he advised Sumitra to do. So I think ultimately, all of us are also struggling. Even the Swami says, you are God, but you don't know. That's one aspect. One is we don't know that we are divine, and Swami says we have to bring out the divinity in us. Why that so? Only then we'll be able to become one with the Lord. Even if we demonstrate the divinity in us, we will still be pining for that merger with the full. And we become full only by merging with the Lord. Because the reality is the quantity of divinity in us is limited. And I think so Lakshmana denotes us also. So I thought those are some of the thoughts which I think again from various discourses of Swami's. I'll stop here. So if there's no other point anyone wants to discuss, we'll move.
The maids, as well as many kinsmen of the royal family, derived great joy watching the children at play. After they left, Kausalya used to insist that rites to ward off the evil eye were performed scrupulously. She was so affectionate and considerate towards the children that she never recognized the passage of day and the arrival of night, or the passage of night and the dawning of a new day. She could not leave them out of sight even for the fraction of a second. While taking her bath, or when she was engaged in worship inside the shrine, her mind was on them, and she would hasten toward them as quickly as feasible. All her work she did in a hurry, so that she could spend more time on their care. Sai Ram.
Thank you
Sai
very
Ram.
much.
దాసిలే కాక రాజబంధువులు అనేక మంది పిల్లలను చూచుటకు నిత్యము వచ్చిపోచుండేవారు.
Not only the maids, even the kingly relatives, many came to see the children on a regular basis.
వారందరూ చూచి వెళ్ళిన తోడనే కౌసల్య పిల్లలకు దిష్టి తీయించి పారవేయించడి.
As soon as they came so and went, Kaushalya right away removed the evil eye, any evil eye blemishes, and then she put them to rest. No, she basically
She threw it away.
And threw it away.
Yeah.
Sorry, threw it away.
పారవేయించుండేది.
Yes.
కౌసల్యకు కుమారుల యందు అధికముగు ప్రేమ చేత
Because of the excessive love for her children, for Kaushalya,
దివారాత్రులు గమనము తెలిసినది కాదు.
she did not know what was day and what was night and how they were moving on.
నిమిషము పిల్లలను విడిచి వెళ్ళేది కాదు.
She was not leaving her children even for a minute.
స్నాన పూజాదులకు కూడాను లక్ష్యమంతియు పిల్లల యందే ఉంచుకొని
even when was having bath as well as doing puja, her concentration was on the children only.
అతి శీఘ్రముగా పనులు చూచుకొని వచ్చేది.
She will quickly finish whatever she is doing and come to the children.
Sai Ram.
So,
many people don't have that belief in that warding of the evil eye. But it works sometimes, that I have seen.
thank you very much. I think Auntie Swami is writing about it so that my parents and mothers do this, I guess.
Yes, we all
because
do.
this is a Indian tradition from ancient times, from Rama's time, as we can see. And I think it has benefit. Definitely, it has benefits.
I remember when earlier days when Swami used to take procession outside. After he used to come from there, when he arrived at home, our elders would take the arati and drishti. They used to take out that drishti and then they would throw it out.
Yes, Ron Bina.
Sai Ram, I just wanted to mention that the concept of the evil eye is not strictly Indian. In fact, throughout rural societies in much of the world, I know especially in many parts of rural Europe, it's still firmly believed in. So anyway, not to say anything negative about but it is a universal or close to universal belief in traditional societies. That's all, Sai Ram.
Ron, is there any way they remove it?
It very often involves salt. That seems to be a very universal thing in terms of the use of salt. That much I know. There's variations, but that much I can say.
Okay, thank you.
Sai Ram.
Anyone would like to add anything or discuss any points? Yes, Sanjay.
This question may be a little bit off topic, but what does it mean? What does the wording of the evil eye mean, and what does it mean in the context of God's will?
Thank you, Sanjay. Sai Ram, everyone. What is the extent of effect of evil eye, and where does God's will come into play? I think as two questions Sanjay had asked. Anyone who would like to discuss this? And how is it removed? I think these are a few points which we can discuss. Swami has taken time to write about it. We all should know what it is and why it is significant, and what is its place in the whole scheme of things also should be known. Yes, Rohit, please go ahead.
Sai Ram uncle. So, Brother Sanjay, are you asking what is evil eye to begin with?
He's not asking about what is evil eye. I think he understands that people cast certain negative influences with their looking at somebody is what I think he understands. But what his question is what is its place in the grand scheme of things where God's will is also present? If God's will is present and it's making everything happen, what is the role of evil eye? And I think that's the way I understood.
No, correct. Yeah. Also, to add, I mean, at the end of the day, it ends up being evil eye because many a times people will say, if you go to this is if somebody is like a child is very charming and so on, and somebody says like, oh, that child is so beautiful, she sings so well, or he sings so well. Even a good comment, a positive comment, people will say that might have been said with I don't even that has been attributed
Yes, yes.
attributed as an evil eye, even if it was said with good intentions and a good outlook, so all of it, yeah.
So,
Yes.
Sorry, uncle, go ahead.
Go ahead. You are the one to speak now.
No, uncle, I think just a couple of sessions back I think it was brought up in discussion about how Swami had said, somebody had mentioned how, or we had read through how Swami had mentioned that there is no good or bad in this world, and everything is as is from a God's perspective. So I mean, if we look at this evil eye thing, what is this evil eye, right? So let's take this example of what Brother Sanjay just said and break it down. So let's say somebody is singing well, and somebody is observing that person, and someone places an evil eye. If we remove the emotion aspect of it, the emotional attachment aspect of it, basically what he or she is desiring is that person should not sing or do good because I desire it so. So that is the evil eye aspect of it. So basically, if you look at it, that's what the other person is desiring, that however successful or good you are in this case, he or she doesn't want you because maybe out of jealousy, or maybe you are in competition or something, whatever. That's what. So where God comes in, I think if you remove the good and the bad aspect of it, basically if you remove the emotion of it, it's two persons desiring two different things. This person A is desiring that I want to succeed, and this person B is saying that no, I don't want that person to succeed. So in the universal law of karma and the universal law of equanimity, whosoever desire is stronger wins. So in that case, I mean, if you are really talented and you're really strong-minded, then you will, and you have faith in Bhagawan in your, and which in turn gives you the self-confidence. Swami says, right, like Lord Hanuman had that much self-confidence because he had total surrender to Prabhu Sri Rama. So if you have total surrender to Swami, that means you also get that confidence to overcome that evil eye. So I think it can be overcome from what I have read, but it definitely, if you remove the good or a bad aspect of it, I think it is just two opposing desires working against each other. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Rohit. Yes, Sai Satish.
Sai Ramana. So is it evil EYE or evil capital I? Because if it is capital I, there is nothing evil. If it is EYE, then of course we are stuck with it because we believe then that the small I is taking over and that's what affects the outcome. Swami has always said, for those who believe in my vibhuti, that is there. For those who believe in the hospitals and doctors, that also he has built. So it is, we hold on to the capital I or whether we hold on to EYE, which depends on how things shape up. But at the same time, Swami has given value to all of this, and that's where he has allowed this to be done for himself also, as we have seen at so many points in Parthi, whether Swami is leaving Parthi, coming to Parthi, several other festivals, all of that we have seen that. So in terms of the psychological safety that it brings along, it has the energies, as Uncle Ron was also mentioning about how the salt or whatever other camphor and things of that kind, it has its own things at the realm of the matter and mind. But if we step beyond the realm of matter and mind, then there is nothing evil, and whatever comes is Swami's prasadam. So it depends on to what extent we can hold on to it and stick with it. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sai Ram, brother, I have a comment and a follow-up question. So the comment is that, if it is an evil eye, it all comes from our karmic burden that we have brought to this world. My question is, talking about this karmic burden or evil eye, and there is this free will. How much of free will people will have in order to? So I know it's a bit unrelated, but I have this follow-up question.
Thank you, Sister. Thank you. Yes, Brother Ron Abina.
Sai Ram, just a couple of points on this topic. Certainly, we believe in curses and blessings by holy people, right? By rishis or what have you. Evil eye is similar nature, right? That is, it's the power of thoughts, the thoughts of all others around us, and if they are of a jealous or envious nature, they do have some influence. Of course, God's blessings are nothing to discount, but at the same time, I look at things like the evil eye as being a form of spiritual hygiene, right? If you don't brush your teeth, you can't say, well, it's God's will that I got a lot of cavities and lost my teeth, right? There's the free will involved right? Well, it is, right? In taking care of yourself that way, we have to have certain responsibilities and being aware that it's not just actions and words that influence us, but and we influence others as well, but even at the subtler level of thoughts. So that's sort of the wisdom of societies is keeping that in mind, but also not forgetting that there's also Bhagavan in the equation. That's all, Sai Ram.
Thank you. Yes, Sister Brinda.
Sorry, this is just a doubt. So, evil eye, does it mean it's just a jealousy or a negative thing, or is it also? Will it also happen when you praise someone wholeheartedly, like how talented they are and all those things? Will that affect the other person?
Thank you, Sister. Thank you. Sister has asked a question again. Will a positive thought also affect a person? I think that's a question. Yes, Rohit.
Uncle, a follow-up question just to add to that. similar thing I also want to know. Would it, like, just following up from sister's question, would it be safe to say that the effect of evil eye that it has on one person's is actually also a test of one's durability in terms of mental power and confidence, in the sense, like, because you see people around the world succeeding, like you've seen all these celebrities and all these sports stars in various fields, they succeed even though billions and millions of people are watching them, and half of the population is rooting against them and half of them are rooting for them. So if it was that easy to bring somebody down by evil eye, by now all the sports matches would have been decided by a few rituals. So would it be safe to say that it's actually a test of one's own durability and confidence? Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. Question. Yes, sister. Okay. Okay. So maybe anyone else would like to comment? If not, I will just summarize and say some things. See, I think first, I think the point is we'll first start with the evil eye or whatever. Swami has used the word drishti only. The reality is Sanatana Dharma believes the body is a person, and a soul has five cases in which it's sheathed. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. The thing is, each of these sheets are just like the physical body can get dirty. When we are, for example, the physical body, if you go and do some work outside and come, the body has dirt. So there may be good things which you may have absorbed and come, but there are negative things also. So generally we would wash our hands or have a shower or something like that to cleanse the body. And generally, if your body is cleansed, when we lie down to sleep, nothing will irk us. There may be no itches, no scratch, no need for scratching or anything like that. So just a bath is a good practice. As Ron said, hygiene is always good. Same thing happens in the other koshas or the other bodies also needs to be cleansed. Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, and so on. At least Pranamaya kosha and Manomaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha does not need any cleansing because all dualities take place from mind downwards. So these two also have to be cleansed. So the general practices are, for example, Ron mentioned salt. Just by sowing salt around a person, the evil eye, the impact of those energies will not go. So generally, some prayer is chanted or something is invoked. A person who is performing it also should be very calm. If they are not calm, they will also add to the problem. So I think with a certain state of mind, with certain prayers or chanting certain mantras, we can cleanse the other bodies also. So generally, children may not sleep. It can, fall asleep easily. We have seen people petting and rocking and all that. The reason is that the child is affected by something. Just the way the physically affected, the mentally and at the pranic level also the child is affected, and that's why they don't fall asleep. If a child is cleansed like that, the child will fall asleep without any problem. So it's a generally good practice. Has Ron used the right word, hygiene? We should do it. It's nothing to do with evil. The word in drishti is the only thing which is told in the Sanskrit by Swami. Evil eye is that's the equivalent translation in English, so we used it. But not necessarily evil. In general, it's a good practice to cleanse. And I think then I will address the topic of free will and karma. See, the thing is, we have got our life in this birth. When we were born, we brought a baggage of karma and their effects, which is called prarabdha. But the reality is, I think many people don't realize that in this life also we perform actions, karma. And some of those karmas will have immediate impact. Only some karmas which are long term karmas, we go to the next birth. But there are short-term karmas. Like if we eat in the morning, I may get a stomach ache if I don't eat the right thing. So that is the karma of eating in the morning causes a problem later on. So I think in life, every time we are also performing karmas, and some of their effects will be immediately felt, some will be in the future births. But so we should understand when we do any karma, like for example, I went out and came, that's a karma. The result will be whatever I brought with me, when, even diseases or anything like that could be a result of my going out. So the karma which resulted, you go into an area which is dirty, your hands are going to be dirty. So I think that's a karma, and we need to take care of it right then and there so that the repercussions don't multiply and create other havocs. So I think in life, always we should watch every action and make sure that there are no negative consequences for us immediately or others. I think that's something which we have to look at it. So no escape from that and the karma and that. Then the question of God's grace comes. God's grace is only commensurate with our efforts. Just because the sunlight is not there, seeds will not grow on their own. They have to be planted in the right soil, they have to be watered, taken care. Only then they will grow. So God's grace is like there to energize and help us with any effort which we are doing. So God will cover. So I think God's grace will not make us make things happen on their own. Like if there's food in front of us, I can't sit in front of the plate of food and say, okay, let the God's grace go to work. I have to eat the food if my hunger has to go. But God will help the process of digestion. He will give energy to the hands and so on. So I think that's where God's role comes in. Then I also wanted to address Sister Brinta's question about some positive blessing. Can it have a negative effect? Sister, somebody praises sky high, we won't be able to fall asleep because we'll be so excited. Okay, so so that doesn't help. If they bless without telling us, maybe we will benefit more from that. But if they praise us, I don't think that's a good idea. It doesn't generally help us with. We'll be so caught up and excited that we may make mistakes. So I think it also can have some negative impact. Just I thought just a summary. Thanks for everyone sharing your thoughts. Rohit, you had asked one question. I don't know whether the last one. I don't know whether I addressed it.
No, yeah, no, I just wanted to ask, like, is it like if is it like a proof of one's own durability
Okay,
and strength?
exactly. That's very good. Okay, I realized something I was missing. Yeah, I think that's why sadhana is a great immunizer. You improve your immunity. Just like in the physical level, also certain things we may not fall sick. Like in India, the children eat from the street and they don't have any stomach problem. But we go land there and buy something by the roadside, we don't know what will happen to our stomach. So yes, immunity is something built through regular practice, and that may be even God's grace. And I think you mentioned about celebrities. So yeah, that was the point which I wanted. Just because celebrities look happy, not everything is rosy in their lives. They know how to put a facade and come in the public. Because I remember once Swami was walking around and talking to the boys, and she was telling Swami was telling, you guys, you think if you have money, if you're very famous, if you will be you'll be the happiest. Turn around and see the VIP veranda. You have the rich fellows, you have the famous fellows, all of them sitting down. Why do you think they are coming here? So that was something which Swami told. So everyone in this world has problems, but they may put a brave face outside, though inside they may be hurting a lot. So I thought I would mention that, including the celebrities in the film world, even the sports celebrities. They're all in that quest. They seem successful in the world because they made money, but that's of no use in the ultimate analysis. It's my understanding. Yes, Ron Bina, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just a couple of brief footnotes. Yeah, on the topic of celebrities, it is a sad truth that if you actually look at, especially people in film and music and so on, there's a lot who end up taking to a path of self-destruction because they cannot handle the huge emotional energy that's thrown at them by thousands or millions of people. It's hard to keep your head on straight, and unfortunately, it destroys a lot of people, which is sad. On a lighter note, there is a superstition within the acting community. Perhaps Sai Satish knows it. I don't know how many people know that before an actor goes on stage, stage hands are supposed to give them an odd blessing, which is tell them to break a leg. So that's what I was doing behind the scenes actually last weekend as actors are going out from behind the curtain. I tell them to break a leg because that's a superstition that don't praise them or say, you're going to do fantastic. Wish them ill in a very strange way, and usually things go very, very well. That's all. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Drishti Pottu or something like that. Yes, Sanjay, I think you raised your hand, please go.
Yeah, Sai Ram, just to add to what has been said, I wanted to also look at this from a slightly different perspective of in the context of Swami's instructions for members in the Sai Center on how to dress themselves. Modesty in attire, modesty in behavior. And the reasoning is the way we look, the way we conduct ourselves should not give rise to any kind of passions in the mind of the person across from us, because that passion is equivalent to violence. Um, Whether it be whatever kind of passion, either joy or joy in the sense of overly elation, jealousy, hatred, all of it, because we are somehow responsible for that thought arising in the mind of the other person, and that violence returns itself as as the drishti, and the warding of the evil eye, as is said. The way I look at it is the aspect of prayashchitta. The one is atoning for that violence that one has created by giving rise to that thought in the other person's mind because of our conduct, because of our behavior. And that is the reason why, as somebody said, as you said, drishti bottu, children, they put that black dot on the cheek, so there is something to counter that, possibly that thought from arising in the other person's mind. So I just wanted to look at it from that aspect on why it is important to conduct ourselves and dress ourselves in such a way that it does not give rise to that kind of thought in the other person's mind.
Thank you, Sanjay. Very nice discussion, very practical discussion for all of us, so that we can contemplate and apply in our lives. Thanks, everyone. It's about 10:20, almost 10:20. Yes, Sister Shilpa, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, can we see this sentence as a different aspect, that to what extent a mother's love go? Like she wants to protect from everything. Like and from this whole paragraph, we can understand that um, hands that are serving are better than lips those praise. That what it is teaching. Can we see that way, Sai Ram?
Sai Ram, sister. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Yeah, the mother's service also is of very valuable for a child. Thank you. We will close the session today, and if there are any thoughts, we can discuss next week. I will close with the Samastaloka prayer. Sai Ram. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.